Know what time it is? You tuned in with your guy. I told you I was gonna start jumping on live a little more than what I normally do. But get what though? The last few times I got on here, y'all was asking me. Y'all always ask about my pops. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he appreciate. But this time, get what? I got him on the phone. I'm talking to him. He talking back. We conversing. We having a whole little conversation. I got pops on the line. Pops, you want to say something?
What's up, y'all out there, right? What's going on here, man? Glad to be on here with you, man. For real.
Yeah, man. First, before we even get into this conversation, man, look, y'all check this out. We might need a little help. I don't know if we want to push it like that because we don't want, you know what I'm saying? But I might need a couple of people to make a call for me down to the commissioner's office down in, because I was on my dad's visitation list. I've been home 7 years. I had to wait 6 months to get on the visitation list. They put me on there, and now I think new warden, new visitation officer, and now all of a sudden they trying to say I can't get on the visitation list. And this the thing. I know a lot of y'all pay attention and watch my daddy's stories. You ain't never got to see him other than the pictures. So they bring in tablets into the prison. And if you got a tablet, you will be able to visit the person on FaceTime on the tablet. And I ain't on the visitation list now all of a sudden for whatever reasons they done came up with. And it just, you know, it's out of pocket, man. So, you know, y'all be on standby. I might need a letter wrote or, you know, yeah. Just to make sure, and then, you know, make sure it ain't no retaliation. We ain't trying to force nobody to do nothing. We just, you know, I've been on the list before. Why is it a problem now? So.
Yeah, and then let me make sure you clarify a little bit on that, right? We got the same warden.
Okay.
The warden approved you. He approved you to be on there. We got a new visitation officer. You know what I'm saying? And she's the one that decided to take you off, but he had to sign off on it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't understand why approve you. You know what I'm saying? You've been on there for over 7 years now. Then all of a sudden now you can't come to visit me. You know what I mean? And that kind of thing. That's a hard pill to swallow, man. As a parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, man. I was telling a story about Tiny the other day. You know, that's one of the people I think they like hearing me talk about. That's one of my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Real close friends in the penitentiary. He just reminded me that Tiny, you telling me Tiny was the one that pretty much, you know what I'm saying, taught you the ropes. You know what I'm saying, when you first came to penitentiary. Can you piggyback on, you know what I'm saying, to pick up like where you met, how, like.
Yeah, me and Tiny, man, we met down at River Bend. That was another facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maximum security. After I came off of Max, you know, I did 3.5 years on Max, rough, rugged, and raw. And then when I came off, he's one of the first people that I ran into. And I came up, you know what I'm saying, on a pack here and there, whatever. And he was breaking it down in school and me, telling me, look, this is how you do this in here. This is how you survive in here. And all the things that I needed to know at that time to make it through this thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was with Brunham and all this and that, right? But he was different. He didn't have no problem with dealing with anybody that was there. It was all about money and surviving the environment. And trying to school me on that in a way that nobody else had. And he stayed my friend the whole time that we were in prison, even though he got shipped to other places, right? Mm-hmm. And talking yesterday about it, after you told me the story that you put up about Tiny, again, it just made me think, man, about all the things that, you know, he went through in here, and then after he got out, you know, he was one of those individuals that no risk was too big for him. You know what I'm saying? I remember the conversations that we used to have when he said when he got out of it, what he wanted to do with his life and all of those types of things. And he didn't want to live this life no more, right? Mm-hmm. But when he got out, man, he got a job, he had a rec, and then he had to get put on some medication and all that kind of stuff. So he ended up in a situation, man, with a family member of his. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
They went and,
Hold on, before you say that. So, at Northeast, when we was out there, I remember, Tiny, when we was at Northeast, right?
Yeah,
Tiny was a heck of a hustler. But
all day, every day.
I mean, we were talking about how, because I done spoke on the situation when Tiny got hit down there, got cut up down there, but I didn't ever know the details of what happened in Tiny. What did you say happened?
Well, it was okay. Tiny had let this dude get in debt with him. I mean, it was almost $5,000 worth of debt. He let him get in debt with him. You know what I'm saying? And this particular dude, he had been diagnosed with terminal brain cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Tiny was getting ready to go for parole, and he needed his bread. So when he got out, he was able to do some things, right? But this particular dude was an Aryan Nation dude, right? You know, former. He called himself a former Aryan Nation, but that's how people say that so they can navigate and deal with black and brown people when they don't want you to be mad at them. I ain't in there no more. That kind of stuff.
Right.
So anyway, this particular dude, after he came back and had been diagnosed with that terminal cancer, brain cancer, he had let it be known, you know what I'm saying, that he was going to take a nigga with him. That's what he said. I'm just using that terminology. That's what he said, right? And it turns out, man, one day him and Tiny were going out the trap, you know, in the doors, and he caught Tiny up in there, and I mean, Butcher tried to cut his head off, man. I mean, literally. Tried to cut his head off. Tiny fought back and all this, man. The blood was everywhere.
Yeah, and
he go ahead.
I remember we was talking yesterday about how you found out Tiny passed away.
His son came down here to this facility, going back and forth to court, and he had called for me, you know what I'm saying, and I was able to go down there and talk to him, you know what I'm saying, and I told him I had been calling his pops and all this and that, right, but he wasn't answering. He told me that his pops was dead, right, and I said, what's happened? And he told me that, you know, Tiny had went on a caper, you know what I'm saying, with his nephew, I believe, it's his nephew, and they were actually going to rob somebody that his sister had dated. You feel what I'm saying? Been with for a while, but they had broke up. And the dude ended up shooting him. But didn't know he had shot Tiny because they masked up, right? But they get away and all this and that, right? But anyway, he don't get treated right at the hospital. Something went wrong. And the bullet was still in him. And he later died from that complication, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I found out, man. I didn't even know. I just knew that I was calling and I couldn't catch him. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I found out that he had passed away. And it turns out that he had passed away 3 months before I found it out that day, right? But, you know, that's, you know.
So, when you were saying that, I remember I was thinking, I was like, man, see, it's crazy, like, the cycle of how things go. Like, Tiny came in, because you said, how much time? You said his son got a lot of time, right?
Yeah, he got a ton of time. I can't say for sure how much it is, but he got a nice load. He got a boatload too, right?
Yeah.
He got a boatload of time.
And see, what's up, Ace Cool? What's up with you, my guy? Man, you gotta hit me up, bro. Ace Cool on here, Daddy. I don't know if you remember Ace Cool.
What's up, bro?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, Ace Cool. Yeah, look. Ace Cool was the first person to let me. If y'all don't remember, right there when y'all see that, you see his name right there. I don't know why I don't want to say it. I think a little, but y'all see my guy name right there where he said, "What's up, big brother?" It's Ace Cool. If y'all don't hear me tell the story, Ace Cool was the first person to let me use a phone in the penitentiary. but yeah, so his son got out of that time. You know, it's just the cycle of that. You know what I'm saying? Of how that go. Like your son came in, you got out, same thing, ended up losing your life. Now your son. And they got a boatload of time. Cause Tiny done how much time?
39.
39
years, man. Day for day. It's not good time. It's 39 years.
And Tiny was like, and how old you think Tiny was when this happened? When he got out?
Tiny was a few years older than me, and I'm 56. But Tiny came into the system about 5-6 years before I came into the system. You feel me?
Yeah.
And he had gotten out and came back, and that's when he got that big sentence. But yeah, he came back in and had a boatload, man, and when you think about the whole situation with him and how he had spent so much time of his life, you know what I'm saying, dedicated to the streets and the hustle and all this and that, right? And then for him to die the way he did after he got out of here, after all of them years, that's a hard one, man.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. That's what we was talking about yesterday, man. How that legacy, that generation of thinking about all the streets and all this. That how you rob your family, you rob the people that you mess with, or that valuable, you know what I'm saying, insight that you might have about life. He didn't get to do that, man. He didn't get to do none of it. He wanted to. I remember, man, when he was out, you know, and he got to go to Gatlinburg. You know, his wife, you know, Miss Carolyn, took him to Gatlinburg, right? Because that's something he always talked about wanting to do. And man, sent me some pictures. He was beaming, right? I mean, he was on cloud. Now, this is a funny story. Let me tell you about. He was up in Gallenberg. You know how I ain't never been there, but he walking around up in Gallenberg, and they got all these liquor places where you can go in and try them and all this and that, right? So he went into one of these places that had moonshine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when I called him and I was talking to him, he said, Joe T, guess what, man? I said, what's going on, Tony? He said, man, I'm finna come up, man. I said, what you gonna come up on? He said, I'm finna make me some moonshine. And I'm finna give him that penitentiary moonshine. I said, man, nobody's finna drink that, man.
Sure,
He said, man, they don't know what they missing, blah, blah, blah. Nah, but that was Tiny, man.
Yeah.
That was Tiny. He was optimist. He always saw, you know what I'm saying, some daylight. Even though it might be twisted, he always saw a way to come up, man. And but he never really got to experience that in a way that didn't put him at risk. He never got an opportunity to experience that, man. And you know, that's what we was talking about yesterday, man. Like living this lifestyle, you miss out on a whole lot that you don't even think about, and your people miss out on a whole lot of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you in and out. You don't get to form no real bonds like you need to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Yeah.
Cause I remember when you brought up yesterday. You said you remember when I told you I was gonna break that cycle.
Yeah, that was major for me when you said that you was gonna break that cycle of generational curse that we have on our.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Man, let me call you back real quick, man.
Okay.
And,
all right,
I got about 15. All right,
later too. Yeah, me and my pops, man, we was having a conversation yesterday. The conversation was so heavy, man, because we was just talking about, cycles and generational curses and, the transition and how hard this stuff is, man. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is when people come out of that system. What's up, Tim Price? What you got going on, my guy? Tim Price. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is. I appreciate the super chats too. When you come out of that system and you want to do all the right things, but when that money ain't coming the way, you know what I'm saying, especially as a man, you can't take care of yourself and take care of your family and man, a lot of people result, you know what I'm saying, back to, and people, let me tell y'all something. People expect you to just bow down to life. Now, if you a man's man, now, I don't condone the life, but I ain't gonna sit here and say I don't understand why some people make the choices that they make. Because you get out of that system, like me, I come home to nothing, man. Like, I had a few people give me a little bit of stuff, and I appreciated the help. I ain't saying that I was ungrateful. But I know after 10 years, that's not enough for me to be okay mentally, first and foremost. If you ain't okay mentally, if you coming home and you don't have the things to sustain you, for you to be stable, your mental is not going to be where it needs to be after you serve that much time. You going to start trying to figure out it's got to be something that I could do. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, you going to result to break. And I was saying, this is what I was just saying that, I don't know how long Tiny was home before he decided to do what he done. I don't know if he was doing other stuff. I don't know if that was a result of being a part of that life for so long he didn't know or didn't try nothing else, or if he tried something else and it just wouldn't sustain. It just wasn't going.
He did. He tried some other things, but I know that was my friend. He tried some other things, but at the same time he was doing things in the streets. I knew this. He told me this, right? And I would say, Tyler, just put all of it into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And try to do. But he was a delivery man, and I know a lot of his pride was in the way because he felt like he wasn't making enough, and it didn't make him feel like he was contributing in the way that he needed to. But what he didn't understand, they just wanted him home. His family just wanted him home, and that was good enough for them. But in your mind, when you get out of here, sometimes you get to thinking that that's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only thing that they're thinking about is you've been gone and we miss you when you're here. As long as you bring something to the table. Because I know Miss Carolyn, the woman that was with him, she was with him the whole time, off and on, man, the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had their ups and downs, but she was with him.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that all she wanted was him to be there.
Right.
That was enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
right.
You got to tell yourself that. You got to convince yourself that. And that's hard, man. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you something, man. I ran into one of my daddy's old friends here, right? This has been a few years ago. I went down to the gym, and he's in the gym. And I said, man, what are you doing here? You know, he recognized me. What's up, Joe T. All this and that? And I said, ain't nothing. I said, what are you doing here? He's 67 at this time, right?
Yeah.
No, he was like 69, finna turn 70 that month. And he said, man, I've been in the streets for 50 years. And I'm staying with this gal, and I got to help out with the bills. And I don't get no Social Security because I ain't never had no real job. He got caught selling one pill, got 18 years because his record is bad, and then he died in here. They shipped him a few months later because he was down here smoking weed. They shipped him somewhere else, and he died in the penitentiary. And that left a mark on me, but then and all of that means something. I'm going to get to the point is this. You can dedicate your whole life to this, man. You feel what I'm saying? You dedicate your whole life to this, and you will find yourself in a position when you get elderly to where you don't have a choice. Where you don't have a choice. And see, I think Tynan, in his late 50s, felt like that was it for him. I got to do something to hit a home run. He wanted to hit a home run. And you got to make base hits when you get out of here. But that's hard to get people to accept, man.
Yeah.
Because you got all the people looking at you. You got the reputation you done built up. That people look at you in a certain way, and you don't want to let that go, man.
Nah, for real.
You don't want to let that go.
I experienced it. I did good for about a year strong, man. I went and got jobs. I went to listen to me. And going to get them jobs coming out of that place and trying to help pay bills and I ain't had no clothes. Like it's almost impossible to begin, because then you have to say, well, I'll settle. And if you know you want more in life, it ain't no way your spirit just gonna be like, yeah, that's cool. I got, you know, a couple outfits. You know, the car ain't what I want, but it'll get me from A to B. To me, it's almost like you trying to convince yourself to just cop out. This is it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember when I got back in the game, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, it did bother me when I came around, because I was just like, man, I ain't who I am to them in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? And by the time I jump back in the game, this is how I know that's just true. As soon as I jumped back in the game for that little time, when I was able to go get fresh, my swag was different, my confidence was different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Confident.
yeah, everything had came back. But I was just so grateful for that. I realized in that choice that I didn't want to do it. That's what I realized. A lot of people they jump back in and they just, ooh, man, I missed this. Me, I was like, this ain't me no more. That paranoia was already too much for me. I couldn't do it. I don't know how I was living like that. I don't know how I was living like that back then.
Hey, look here. When you go all the way straight, that's like it in here, right? I don't do anything anymore, right?
Yeah.
I don't do anything, period. So when I'm looking at dudes, I know they're doing stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can see the stress all over. I see the stress all over. They can't sleep. They hear the door slam. They think somebody coming and all this and that. Or they might be high or something like that and walking by. And I look and I say, you better get straight. And then they'll look at me like, wow, what I look like? I mean, you know what you look like. And I'm saying to myself, man, I used to be that dude.
Yeah.
I used to be a dude, always paranoid about something because of the way I was living. And that is not the way that I want to live no more. But I'm telling you, and you know this, it is hard to break away from that. You have to hit a point in your life to where it's like, man, this don't even feel right no more.
Right.
It don't feel right. Yeah, and once you get that, then you'll be able to build to it. But here's the thing. The thing that separates some people from others is your drive and your determination, your resilience and all of that, right? If you don't want to do that, you still want to hit that home run. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Right.
So now you got to figure out how to hit that home run, but you don't even have a knowledge base. You ain't had no job, and if you did have a job, it wasn't the type of job that's going to get you where you feel like you need to be or where you want to be. Now you got to learn all over again, and that's the part about the game people don't accept. You ain't got all the time in the world. We only gonna be on earth for a certain amount of time. And if you want to hit a home run, you better do your homework. You understand what I'm saying? And whatever it is you want to do, you need to put in work. Like you told me the other day, you studying these cameras and all of this and that, right? You putting in 8 hours a day trying to figure that kind of stuff out. See, most people that come out of here, let me tell you something. In this state here, right, there was a study that came that 70% of the men in Tennessee's prisons, right? They read comprehend on a first grade level.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
So what is it that the women read on a second grade level? It's 70%. But the point I'm making is, what do you think they're going to be able to do? That's 70%. What do you think they're going to be able to do that can hit a home run other than play the lottery?
Right.
And do like everybody? It's nothing.
Nothing.
So you got to put in work.
You got to put in work, man.
You gotta put in work.
Me, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. Let me tell you something. This is something I learned. Even if most people just hate the process and the patience you got to have in starting something new. So you would rather just go for what you know, because you know, even if it start out slow, this is something I know eventually. I know it because I've done it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in the streets. We're gonna let's just keep it funky like a far. You know, I'm gonna go get 3 grams for 100. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna flip that. I'm gonna go get me a quarter. I might have to get that quarter 2-3 times. But I know in the next 2-3 months, if I keep this up, shoot, I'm gonna be able to go get me a half, a 4 and a split. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be able to do. So you cool with the process of that going slow because you've done it before. You gotta transfer that same energy into something new. I'm gonna do this. I know you and just do the same thing. That's why they say a hustler. That's why they say if you a hustler, you just gotta repeat the same process, same amount of effort, same drive, same determination, and just keep building it that way. It's gonna work the same way selling dope work.
But what it proves is what you just said. If you're a hustler, see, I'm not trying to be mean to nobody. Nobody at all. I ain't on that. But most people in the penitentiary, because they wasn't good at what they was doing, right? Now, don't get it twisted. You can come here and be good at whatever you were doing. You just got caught up, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. But at the end of the day, most people in here they're not good hustlers, man.
Nah.
They can't transfer their illegal to legal. They can't do it.
Right.
They don't have the patience. Because you can stack some money don't mean that you're a good hustler, man. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot that goes to that. And if you trying to switch your game up and do it all legal, you got to have patience.
Yeah.
And then you got to have that confidence to where, you know what, I don't care what nobody says. Let me tell you another quick story before I get up off here, right? Because I got to go to work. You know, these folks, they make you go to work. But listen to this. I got a friend. He's still a friend of mine named Maurice, right? Yeah. Maurice had a son. You understand what I'm saying? Maurice had a son that he sent out on the caper. Maurice was a stick-up kid. He sent his own son out on the job, right? And got his son, brains blew out, right? Brains blew out. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So we down at Turner Center. We talking one day, right? He want to start this group called the Lifers Club, right? I said, no, I don't want to get in there right now, man. I'm on my business stuff. I'm trying to do this book. I'm trying to do these other things. And this man sat there and told me, he said, man, ain't none of that going to work for you, Joe T. You ain't going to be able to do none of that. You ain't going to be able to do none of that. Now, this is a friend of mine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it stung me. But when that stung me, that made me say, I'm going to show him.
Right.
I'm going to show him. But this is the same person. It's the same person. And I ain't trying to be mean, that thought that he was giving his son, don't get it twisted, because I gave you and Montrez some bad advice that led y'all to the penitentiary, right? Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. It could have caused y'all death, or death for somebody else. So I'm not judging. But what I was saying is, I was trying to explain to him, man, we got to leave that alone. Right. We got to get off of that and get on to something legal. And he wasn't even willing to do that, man. And it cost his son's life.
You're right.
Costing his son's life. That's the point I'm trying to make. So we got to get him off of that, man. All that street stuff, I get it, man. Please don't nobody out there think that Joe T don't get it. Don't even think that, man. Because if you really know me, you know I get it. What I'm telling you, it's a loser's game. It's a loser's game, man. Sure. That's just what it is, man. And I ain't trying to be mean. I'm just keeping it 100. I would want you to tell me the truth. If you mess with me, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. But, you know, I'm just glad that, you know what I'm saying, we were able to get on here and have this kind of conversation. Most definitely. And so people can listen in and see what we're talking about. And I know there's going to be some people out there that disagree with me. They probably say Joe T done squared up and all this and that. And now I'm going to tell them, you're exactly right. Right. You're exactly right. I have. Right. I done squared up, man. I've been here 35 years, man. And if I don't get a clemency or something like that, I'm going to be right at 40 before I even have a chance to go for parole. Think about that. Yeah. Go up in 2028. Come on now. But didn't nobody make me do? I did that. I gave that away. Right. You feel what I'm saying? I gave that away. And I think about all the things that I missed out on and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? The influence that I could have really had in your life and Montrez's life and everybody around me and the influences that everybody could have had in my life. I gave all that up for something that wasn't even real.
Yep.
It wasn't real. I gave that up, man. I gave that up.
Yeah, I got one of the comments just said, "Let Pops know we here." He know we on live, man. If y'all ain't on my daddy channel, man, it's Doing Time with Joe. Y'all go subscribe to Pops channel. Let's get them likes up, man. Y'all hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit the like button. If you want to send a super, if you want to send a guy a super chat, send a super chat.
Yeah, do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, do all of that. But yeah, man, look here, man. I gotta get ready to go, right? Because I gotta go to work, and if I don't show up to work, I'm gonna get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, I gotta stay in compliance. You know what I'm saying? I gotta tip. What you call it? Tap dance. You know what I'm saying? For the people, right? But look, I love you, man, and all y'all out there, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all stay safe, man. And I can't wait to do this again. You hear me?
All right, what's up, Dad? All right, love you.
I'll get you back later.
All right, love you. Yeah, you get in trouble. Yeah, you get in trouble in the penitentiary for not going to work. I forgot the refusal to participate. What they call it, right? Hold on. I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna end this. I'm finna end this live, and I'm gonna get back on probably about 2. I got a story I wanted to tell, but I didn't want it to run in with me and my daddy phone call. So I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna get back on here about 2:30. Y'all come back and mess with your boy.